Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Friday, May 5, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Colorado notched an incredible comeback win against the Brewers on Thursday, topping the National League 4-9-6 in Denver. It was a late offensive surge that helped erase a 4-0 deficit as they plated 9 runs in the 7th and 8th innings. Ezequiel Tovar started the comeback with a 2-run RBI double, and he came around to score later in the frame to make it 4-3. Elias Diaz recorded a game-tying RBI sacrifice fly, and Harold Castro's 2 RBI single gave Colorado the lead in the 8th. As for the pitching, Brad Hand was issued the win after tossing 1.0 scoreless inning and allowing just a single hit. From a sports betting perspective, the Rockies were a plus 135 moneyline underdog, while the 15 combined runs cleared the 12.0 run pregame threshold quite easily. It was an ugly trip to Detroit for the New York Mets as they dropped all 3 games to the Tigers. Thursday's finale was a 2-0 defeat in a game where the Mets were a minus 169 betting favorite. As for the total, the 2 combined runs came in comfortably under the pregame mark of 7.5 runs. The lack of offense was clearly the issue in Thursday's matinee Motown matchup as the Mets managed to muster up just 3 hits. Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, and Tommy Pham were the only players to record hits in the losing effort. As for the pitching, Justin Verlander made the start and lasted 5.0 innings, allowing both earned runs on 2 solo homers. Okay, so the odds makers are apparently turning a blind eye to the recent series of both the Mets and Rockies. They see the Mets as a minus 230 betting favorite on the money line. With the way that New York is playing right now, they shouldn't be this large of a favorite against any team in the league. They're coming off of a 3-game sweep at the hands of the lowly Detroit Tigers and have now lost 9 of their last 11 games. Meanwhile, the Rockies are clicking as they've won 4 straight games and scored 31 runs over the 4-game sample size, 7.75 RPG. With over a 2-1 payout, I'll gladly take a shot with the Rockies to win. Our team pick is Colorado Rockies money line. As I mentioned above, Colorado has scored 31 runs over their last 4 games, 7.75 RPG. They'll be running into Kodai Senga, who has yet to face them since coming over to the MLB. The right-hander has been far from untouchable as he's posted a 4.15 ERA and 1.58 WHIP over 5 starts this year. Furthermore, he's been susceptible to the long ball as opponents have 5 home runs off of him this year. On the flip side, Antonio Senzatella had an ugly 2022, where he went 3-7 with a 5.07 ERA and 1.69 WHIP. As for his head-to-head numbers with the Mets, they're slashing .299, .324, .495 against him over 107 at-bats. Finally, it's worth noting that Colorado's bullpen is ranked 23rd in ERA, 4.50, and 25th in WHIP, 1.42. Let's not overthink this one and take the over in the Big Apple. Minnesota Twins vs Cleveland Guardians. The Twins have lost 2 of their last 3 games, including a 6-4 defeat at the hands of the Chicago White Sox, 10-21 Sioux, 4th in AL Central, on the road Wednesday. Chicago secured their first series win of the year on Eloy Jimenez tie-breaking RBI single in the 7th inning. Minnesota pitcher Louis Varland lasted only 4.2 innings and gave up 4 earned runs on 7 hits, including a 3-run blast to outfielder Luis Robert Jr. Outfielder Nick Gordon went deep, and shortstop Carlos Correa had 2 RBI for the Twins in the loss. The White Sox staff struck out 12 Minnesota batters, including 4 whiffs for outfielder Trevor Larnach. Cleveland has lost 4 of their last 5 games, including a 4-3 defeat in extra innings to the New York Yankees, 17-15 Sioux, 5th in AL East, on the road Wednesday. Cleveland took a 3-2 lead into the 9th inning on pinch hitter Oscar Gonzalez's RBI single, but Yankee outfielder Willie Calhoun, who homered earlier, hit a single to tie the game in the bottom half of the inning, and the Yankees won it in the 10th on pinch hitter Jose Trevino's RBI single. Outfielder Miles Straw went 2-4 with a run scored in the loss for the Guardians. Starter Shane Bieber pitched well for the Guardians, going 8 innings and giving up 2 earned runs on 5 hits and striking out 4 Yankees batters. Shortstop Amed Rosario and first baseman Josh Naylor struck out 3 times each in the loss. Cleveland dominated the Twins at home last season, winning 6 of the last 7 played between these 2 teams at Progressive Field. The Guardians were solid overall at home last season, winning 46 of 81 games played there. The Twins have lost 3 straight on the road against the spread and 6 of their last 7. They have won only 1 road series out of 5 so far in 2023. The Twins have been struggling with the bat on the road in 2023, ranking 24th in the MLB in road batting with a .216 average. Cleveland's pitching staff has been coming on strong lately, compiling a 3.08 ERA over their previous 3 games. Our team pick is Guardians plus 1.5 runs. The Twins' pitching staff has been excellent on the road so far this season, ranking 4th overall in ERA away from their home stadium at 3.09 versus 3.70 at home. Ober has pitched effectively against Cleveland in the past, limiting them to 1 hit in 5 innings and no runs in his last outing against them at Progressive Field. Both pitching staffs have been stingy giving up home runs, ranking 7th Minnesota and 9th Cleveland in the league in home runs allowed per 9 innings. Cleveland has gone under the point total in 4 of their last 5 games and 3 straight at home. They have scored 3 runs or less in 4 straight games and 8 of their last 9. The Twins have pushed or gone under in 3 of their last 5. Most signs and stats points suggest a lower scoring affair between these 2 teams on Friday. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. Baltimore Orioles vs Atlanta Braves. After dropping Game 2 and being shut out in the process, the Orioles bounced back nicely in Game 3, generating 13 runs on the day. Even with their scoreless Game 2 performance, Baltimore managed 24 runs over the 3-game stretch. It wasn't easy pickings, however, as the Orioles had to rally back late after blowing a 7-run lead. Anthony Santander got the bats going early with his 2-run homer in the first. Gunnar Henderson added another 2-run shot in the third. In all 7 Orioles managed a hit. Grayson Rodriguez got the start and he surrendered 6 runs and struck out 3 over 3.2 innings. The Braves completed the sweep and stayed sharp after their dominant 14-6 win in Game 2. The series finale handed Atlanta 6 runs while holding their opponent, the Marlins, to just 3. Atlanta has been strong at the plate and racked up 26 runs over their 3-game stint in Florida. Marcell Ozuna blasted 3 homers over 2 games and Ronald Acuna set a league-leading 15 stolen bases. Acuna left the game early due to fouling a ball off his left knee. Dylan Dodd was on the mound for Atlanta and he struck out 1 while giving up 3 runs over 6 innings. Even with ace Max Fried on the mound and coming off a road sweep, the Braves are vulnerable here against what has been a strong Baltimore offense. The Orioles have managed to hit the ball well and have done a great job not leaving runners stranded. Creamer has proven to be hittable, but he's continuing to strike batters out and will take advantage of the aggressive Braves hitting. Baltimore is also 10-0 this season in the opening game of the series. Hold your nose and take the road dog here. Our team pick is Orioles. If there's anything we've learned about these offenses over the past week is that they can rack up runs in a hurry. The Orioles generated 24 runs in their series despite being held scoreless in one of the affairs. The Braves accrued 26 and look strong in the way of multiple homers by multiple players. Fried will come back to earth a bit here and the Orioles have the offense to hit him and rough him up a bit on the mound. The Braves will continue being aggressive in the box and that will keep this total within reach the whole way. The play is the over. Oakland Athletics vs Kansas City Royals. Oakland enters this game having been swept in their previous series against the Mariners, dropping all 3 games of the series. In their most recent 5-3 loss, Drew Rucinski got the start in the loss for the Athletics, tossing 3.2 innings and allowing 4 hits that resulted in 5 earned runs, while walking 5 and striking out 3. From then on it was a bullpen game for the Athletics, which held the Mariners scoreless for the remainder of the game. On the offensive end for the Athletics they totaled 8 hits and 3 runs in the loss. Ramon Laureano and J.J. Bleday had the team's only multi-hit games going 2-4, while Lestry Ruiz went 1-4 with a run scored and a RBI. The Athletics ultimately were unable to recover from the deficit their starter put them in early on in the game. Kansas City enters this game coming off a series loss against the Orioles, in which they dropped the first and third game while winning the second. In their most recent 13-10 loss, Jordan Lyles got the start and tossed 5 innings, allowing 6 hits that resulted in 8 runs, with 6 being earned. From then on it was a bullpen game for the Royals, with Aroldis Chapman eventually getting the loss for the Royals in the 8th. On the offensive end the Royals totaled 16 hits and 10 runs in their 13-10 loss. There were a handful of multi-hit games for the Royals, with Bobby Witt Jr. and MJ Melendez going 3-5, Freddie Fermin going 3-4, Michael Garcia going 2-5, and Kyle Isbell going 2-4. Despite this, the Royals were unable to recover from the deficit their pitching created, taking the Athletics to win this game for a couple of reasons. I believe this could be the game where the Athletics finally get one of their starting pitchers a win. Everybody has been talking about it and I think they break the schneid in this game. The Athletics are starting left-hander Kyle Muller this game, who is coming off a solid start against the Reds, in which he tossed 5 innings and allowed 5 runs that resulted in only 1 run. Meanwhile, the Royals give Brad Keller the start, who has had a solid start to the season, but has posted a 1.58 whip in those 5 starts. The Royals are also coming off a rather deflating loss in which they came back from a 7-run deficit just to lose the game 13-10. I believe the Royals will stumble their way into this game back at home and drop this first game to the Athletics. In terms of trends, believe it or not, the Athletics are 27-12 in these teams' past 39 meetings overall and are 4-1 in these teams' last 5 meetings in Kansas City. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Athletics to win this game. Taking the over in this game for a couple of reasons. Both teams are coming off relatively high-scoring series, and the pitching matchup is one that will be prone to runs scored. The Athletics give Kyle Muller the start, who has posted a 6.28 ERA and 1.92 whip so far this season, while the Royals give Brad Keller the start, who has posted a 3.56 ERA and 1.58 whip in his first 5 starts. In addition, both bullpens have been prone to blowing leads and allowing an abundance of runs in the late innings. Expect the bats to do their part for both teams with a handful of multi-hit games for both lineups. In terms of trends, the Athletics have gone over in their past 4 Friday games, 5 of their past 6 game ones of a series, 6 of their past 8 road games with a total over 8.5, and in 5 of their past 7 games against a team from the AL Central. The Royals have also gone over in Keller's past 4 starts at home, as well as his past 7 starts at home, with a total set over 8.5. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, they have gone over in 6 of their past 8 meetings in Kansas City, making me all the more confident in taking the over in this game. Detroit Tigers vs St. Louis Cardinals. After going 1-3 against Baltimore, the Tigers looked strong, wrapping up their 7-game homestand with a 3-game sweep of the Mets. They allowed just 6 total runs in the series and just 1 over the last 2. That improved their team ERA to 4.52, 10th in the American League. Detroit's bullpen has been the stronger half of the staff, going 6-4 with a 4.17 ERA with 8 saves. Boyd will be working in his 6th start of the season, earning a loss in his last outing when he allowed 6 runs and 8 hits in a season-high 5.2 innings. In his lone career start against the Cardinals, Boyd allowed just 1 run, 2 hits and a walk over 7 innings in a no decision. Remember that thing I mentioned above regarding how bad the Cardinals' pitching has been at home? Well, Montgomery is a prime example of just that. In 3 road starts, the southpaw has allowed just 1 earned run in 19.2 innings. In 3 starts at home, he has yielded 12 runs in 15.1 innings. The Tigers are 5-0 against National League teams thus far this season and are 7-1 in their last 8 interleague matchups. They come into this game on a high after sweeping the Mets, and I think this is an excellent opportunity to get the Tigers with some favorable juice on their side, regardless of where you put your money. However, for this one we're going to take them on the run line, which will still net us a decent return should they drop a tight one. I am not liking this starting pitching matchup to be one that keeps runs off the board. Our team pick is Detroit plus 1.5 runs. We have already noted Montgomery's penchant for serving them up at his home ballpark, and Boyd has given up at least 2 runs in each of his starts this season. The Cardinals' last 2 games went over, and the over is 6-1-1 in their last 8 home games. The Tigers have had 5 of their last 7 games go over, and the over is 4-0 in their last 4 games against a team with a record under .400, per covers.com. Detroit's batting has hit NL pitching well, and the Cardinals are in a tailspin, making Busch Stadium a bit uncomfortable for its inhabitants of late. Take the over.